I've talked about it before. You don't pass up on a guy who's being compared to generational talent. Scoot Henderson's been compared to Russell Westbrook, John Morant, Derrick Rose, while Brandon Miller's been compared to Paul George, Rudy Gay, Danny Granger. Yes, he has a high floor, but Scoot Henderson, according to Charania, is gaining serious momentum to be drafted at number 2 overall by the Charlotte Hornets. Because you know what? When great basketball players play with other great basketball players, they figure it out. Okay, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, 2 ball-dominant players, figured it out. Okay, and they weren't even rookies; they were older. So, Charania put out a tweet: the possibility of the Charlotte Hornets selecting Scoot Henderson with the number 2 overall pick is gaining serious momentum. Sources tell Charania the Hornets are having a final draft meeting today to decide who they select. The Hornets have been torn between Henderson and Brandon Miller, with many believing they prefer Miller, but you know I've stayed steadfast and said that they're going to select Scoot Henderson because you don't pass up on generational talent. Let's say it one more time. You don't pass up on generational talent. So I do want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys expect to be drafted? Okay, because for me, I think it just makes a lot of sense for this team to go out and get themselves Scoot Henderson, who's the better prospect, who has shown that he's ready to do what needs to be done. And I look, LaMelo's played next to Terry Rozier, okay? And I think that's just something that people don't realize. Like, hey, this is something that could happen, okay? And for me, I think it's interesting, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Who do you think will be drafted and why? But you just don't pass up on generational talent. That's my thought process with this. You don't pass up on generational talent. And with that being said, I think when you look at a guy like Scoot Henderson, he's a guy that is clearly heads and shoulders above the rest of the guys in this class, besides Victor Wembanyama, of course. Okay, that doesn't even need to be said. Scoot Henderson, who's 6'2", looks like he's 6'3", 190 pounds, scored 17.6 points a night. His three-point shot was at 33%. It took a huge jump. And look, in many other drafts, Henderson would be the number 1 pick. He just happens to be in the same draft as Victor Wembanyama. He's that good. He's going to be exceptionally hard to guard on defense from the first day in the NBA because of how well-rounded he is in ball screen actions. He can pull up, hit floaters. He can get to the rack, okay, finish with freaking authority and on his way to the rim, or even put up a nice touch. He can slow down, play fast. He makes high-level passing reads. The other thing is he can force action in transition, drive easy to get to points, and he's going to be a guy who sets the tone day one with his competitiveness and drive. Henderson truly is the franchise-altering prospect that having the second pick is not a consolation prize this year. It's a goddamn gift. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to go at number 2? I think every day that passes, it's more and more likely we get to see a man by the name of Scoot Henderson play next to a man named LaMelo Ball, which for me I think is so interesting as more and more time passes, because it just goes to show how teams view prospects, which is just such a funny thing to watch. I mean, for the longest time last year, we thought a guy by the name Jabari Smith Jr. was going to go number one overall, until he didn't, thankfully. So let me hear your thoughts down below. That's the video, guys. Peace out, everybody.